stars on your plans. Who you gonna be when the lights all fade? When the stage is gone, when the debts ain't paid. Just how big a boy are you when the chips fall, when the fish fly? Just how big a boy are you when the truth comes, when the lies die? Big talk ain't the weight you carry. Down truck in a no-name town, dust on your tongue, rain won't come down. What's the measure of a man with nothing to show? When the wind cuts deep, when the seeds don't grow. Just how big a boy are you when the walls crack, when the earth shakes? How big a boy when your pride bends, when your heart breaks? Big talk don't mean a thing at all. You can puff your chest, you can raise your chin, but the mirror don't care about the fire within. How far will you go? How much will you lose when it's blood for blood and you gotta choose? Just how big a boy are you when the tide turns, when the sky falls? How big a boy are you when the pain comes, when the last call? Big talk don't weigh a damn thing.
Oh yeah. Happy Saturday from the SFP and Cornbread Nation. I'm Dave the AM, aka the Cornbread Man, here on a Saturday, kicking it off early, getting ready to get going. You got to grab the weekends by the horns, wrestle it down, make it your own. Even if you got to work, make sure that the weekend works for you. You're not you for the weekend. I know a lot of times we save up projects and stuff for the weekend. It can be quite tiring when we go back to work sometimes to rest up, as they say, even though we're working. But I hope you're able to have a great day. The weather is nice, cool, and crisp. There's a lot of good things going on. Even with all the chaos in the world, Jesus is still on the throne of God, and he is still making intercession for me and you. And we're still, if we're living here in these grand United States of America, we still have much to be excited about and be happy about. Even with all the lunacy and idiocy that goes on, we are living in the best country on the face of the planet. Our president, he's a big boy, and he knows how to get things done, even though some people don't think that he does. He's able to get some things done. It looks like he might have been able, through threats to tell Hamas to make a deal or die, that it looks like they're ready to at least accept some of the agreements that he has said. We just got through cutting a breaking news piece on this. The president told them, you're surrounded and you will die. And for those that are not there, we will hunt you down and you will die. So it's either, he gave them a 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, DC time, Sunday evening, 6 p.m. to accept, or that was it, die to those Hamas fighters. And so it seems as though agreements are breaking in place, and it looks as though at least some elements have been hammered out. The sign will come. Will they release the hostages and those that are deceased and or living? That will be the first sign. If that occurs, I would say it looks pretty good that things can move forward pretty rapidly. Gaza City, the incursion into Gaza City will stop. Humanitarian aid would come in. Israel will stop bombing. UN will get to action, and the U.S. Will be administering. Yes, the president and former Prime Minister Tony Blair Well, there's a name from the past. Or we're going to oversee the next phases to those areas of the Gaza Strip. Nothing about a statehood or in this plan. Nothing about reunification with the West Bank. They're PA brothers over there. They don't act like brothers, but anyway, the Brotherhood over in the West Bank, who've kept their noses kind of quiet and clean during all this. The secret of the street is they're absolutely overjoyed that Hamas has got their butt kicked. The Palestinian Authority and Hamas don't like each other, and Hamas kicked the PA out of the Gaza Strip many years ago, and so they would never say it openly, but I guarantee you there is champagne and other drinks that are being shared, not at the citizens dying, but at the Hamas fighters being just obliterated by legions because they don't get along. That's the thing. Most of these factions in the Middle East, among the terror organizations, they don't get along. They only unify in a common hate, enemy, and for them that would be Israel or America or some other. But the rest of the time they're against each other. It's always a fight for control and leadership, and a fight, to be the voice, and that's just the way it goes. And there's those allegiances go way back. I mean, any country you have tribes in, it could be Afghanistan, it could be Africa or whatever. You look, there's violence because there's a hatred there between a lot of times between those tribes, and there certainly is among them. So you take Hamas, they don't play well with the PA because they would see the PA as who's more they're killers, but they're more moderate, and they've taken American dollars and they've loved that. And tried to play. They talk out both sides of their mouth. Where Hamas, they just show up and tell you we're killing everybody. We don't care. We're not making a deal. We vowed the destruction of Israel. We're going to make it a Palestinian state. We're doing it. We hate you. Try to stop us. Where PA, they like to shake your hand and then turn around and wink at their people, going, "Don't believe it." But Hamas just comes straight out and tells you straight up exactly what they're going to do, and they don't care. But it has brought them to their knees because there's I don't know how many of them are left, but what's left in Israel is it's just a shadow of what it once was. They can rebuild. They can. I mean, there's plenty of countries want to get them things, but I think the security guarantees within the Gaza will be a different now, administered different, and maybe hopefully they can stop most of that from happening. They got to get a handle on the tunnels over there. The tunnels allow all sorts of weapons, the free passage of terrorists and weapons of all sizes. They don't have to cross the border. They just go into the ground. They're going to have to find a way to fill these in, to block them, and I'll constantly be on the search for new ones from areas across Egypt and places where they start digging these tunnels out. They're going to have to work with the Egyptians to hopefully collapse these tunnels and keep this from happening. Miles and miles of tunnels were under there, and everybody's known it. It's not that it wasn't known. I don't know if anybody really understood the network and just how big. I mean, it's like a super highway of tunnels from the north to south of Gaza all the way across. I mean, it takes forever to search them. There's, I mean, something like it's either a few hundred miles or a few thousand as they just crisscross the Gaza. I mean, it's like a city down there of tunnels. So they're going to have to find a way, and I think they have collapsed or filled in some of them, but they're going to have to do more of that. And then reconstruction, yes, humanitarian aid first, temporary structures, rebuild, and hopefully put someone there that will. And Hamas has agreed. They've agreed to an international leadership of overseeing their area, at least for now. They'll have to put security personnel on the ground. Some kind of, it can't be a token force, or Hamas will just overrun them. Hezbollah and others, Iran, even though they've been hit in the teeth pretty hard, they will come back and supply all the weapons that they need. It is a constant flow of munitions to the area. So internationally, we've got to clamp down on that. There's been times we've been able to do that. Israel's done that, but it's not a good thing, and we need to start taking the fight to before the weapons can ever get there, and take on an international role in the shipping around. And look at these. We've got intel on. We know that they're carrying hardware that is destined for there. We need to just take action. We don't need to wait for anyone else, and just slow this down as much as possible. And a force that is actually a force in the Gaza could hold peace for a while. And you got to keep the rockets from going in. And for people who hate Israel and blame them, certainly, I'm just saying, if you do that, then you can tell Israel you have no reason to be doing this. You have no reason to attack here. You have no reason to incur here. And there's no rockets coming over, and we're shutting down the tunnels, and things could move forward, and you could work together. If there's people that slip over the border and that are not supposed to be over the border, doing illegal things and slipping back across the Gaza. One of the biggest things, and it happens in the West Bank all the time, one of the biggest crimes that occurs in Israel is the stealing of cars, because they can't go after them. So they'll slip over, get the car, take it across the checkpoint, and once it's inside the PA area, the car is gone. It happens a lot. It's one of the biggest crimes, much more than the killing of people, is the stealing of cars. So things like that, they've got to work together um, to stop this. So the Palestinian Authority, whoever is ultimately over the security of the Gaza, they got to work together so that you hold every person, every entity accountable, be that the IDF or what's going on in Gaza, or yes, the West Bank. Pardon me, where the Palestinian, the former PLO, the Palestinian Authority leadership, Abbas and that whole group. And it's been relatively quiet. I mean, they've sat back. Like I said, they've not joined with their brothers, because these guys ain't brothers. They've sat back and totally just ignored, to a point, what's going on. They've said a few token things out in the press, but largely they have stayed out of this because, like I said, they got their butts kicked. They got sent out of here. Hamas come in there and just took over. And looking back, I seem like I remember that there were probably many Palestinian Authority soldiers or security forces that were killed, but they fled for their very lives to the West Bank and have been there ever since. And Hamas became deeply entrenched. And yes, things did escalate after that. The Palestinian Authority was no walk in the park. I mean, they've got their problems, but it was a partner that the United States at least could have some semblance of agreements. You didn't have the rocket fires and stuff like that back then, that like you do today. It was just a different time. And honestly, I would say Israel probably would be happy to have the PA as a partner there, even though they wouldn't want them back in there. But they would be better than what they have, because you can't work on Hamas. There's absolutely no discussion, no discourse, no agreement. Whether you hate Israel or not, Hamas will not agree to anything either. So you got two going at it, and neither side is going to agree. So you get what you get, and that's an old story. But you got to have some semblance of peace. People move on with their lives. These people, the families, no matter what side you're on, people have a right to live in peace and security and just live their lives. And hopefully this will happen, and we can at least have some peace for some time. And it definitely is a new time. I mean, we've never seen nothing like this. Since Israel has become a nation again, there's nothing been like this going on. There's been some wars, certainly. I mean, you had your various 5 major wars that have occurred, but nothing like the hitting of Gaza that occurred. That October 7th hit on Israel opened the door to a lot of things. And I get it. People are mad. People are hate, and they're angry. But you can't keep fighting. And it's not going to. Nobody's going to ever be able to annihilate the other, and that's what people call for. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The world will step in. So you have to come to some sort of agreement. It looks like a good time to step in. The key is getting Hamas out of the way. And America has a lot of sway with Israel. They can put pressure there. And I believe the president would do that if he gets some security guarantees, he gets things going on. And if he's involved there, that puts the Israelis in a box. They can't be seen doing too much there. It's actually quite, I don't like us being involved, but in one way, it's actually quite ingenious, because Israel's not going to attack something the president has some say-so with. And I think that would clamp down on some of the stuff that people say they go overboard, they go in, they're heavy-handed. And if you don't agree with that, I get it. But I'm just saying, I'm just looking at both sides of the coin here. It keeps the rockets down. It keeps the incursions of Israel down. So they're coming and looking for somebody, or knocking structures down or whatever. It would stop that. And you start building it up and making a community that eventually, maybe they could become a state. I don't think that will ever happen, to be honest. But I think that will continue to be talked about. It never happened because they didn't want it to happen. The Arabs did not want a peace agreement for the sliver of land. They wanted the whole thing. So they'll never agree to a state. It's made to look like the other side doesn't want it. And to agree, they probably don't. But the Hamas would never agree to a Palestinian state, ever, never, ever. It's not even their charter to agree something like that. Their charter says, annihilate Israel. The whole area has become a Palestinian state, of course, controlled by Hamas. They're never going to agree to it. But they're crippled up pretty good right now. All their leaders are dead, or most of them, and a lot of the warriors are dead. They can replenish. There's never a shortage of men to step up. Speaking of that, Russia has stepped up. They've been conscripting, if I can get the word out. Uh, Basically, you're forcing people into the military. They've been doing that, but they've amped it up, and they have lost through casualty, death or injured, nearly 1 million fighters since this thing has happened. So they usually do a spring and fall. It's like your spring and fall, clean out. Well, they go around and gather up. They put out the call, and they go get them about 130 something thousand young men and put them in the line of battle. They say they don't, but there's been prisoners of war that have been captured that were days in the military. So they have, the cannon fodder that they put their men out there in the battlefield has taken a huge toll. So Russia is doubling down, and they're doubling their efforts to get even more fighters. They're trying to get 130 to 160,000 extra over what they've already been going out and gathering up. So if you're a Russian young man coming of age, not a good time. Bad timing to become of whatever they deem military age. Be a bad time to become that, because they're probably coming for you. Of course, Ukraine does the same thing. They just go out and force the people in the vans largely. I get it. I suspect young boys and old men will be next, because they're running out of fighters to a degree. I mean, every year you produce more, but people are getting of that age. But you've had a lot of people die too. A lot of people flee the country, so that there's some of them that are not even there. But think about that they're gathering. They continue to get 130,000 or so men in the fall and the spring to go into battle, and they keep having to do that to keep their numbers up. That just tells you the totality of the death and carnage that has happened in this war. They said that every day at the airport there in Moscow, there are dead bodies being brought back in to be dispatched around the country, that have been killed on the front lines. And every day ambulances are going to the airport, whatever they use to transport dead bodies. There's wounded as well, but every day families are going there to see if their loved one is among the missing, or the hurt, or unfortunately the deceased. And it is I just can't imagine every day. There are people that are going there hoping that their son comes back alive, maybe injured but alive, but they're going there to claim bodies. And what a scene! It reminds me of that scene in Gone with the Wind, where they're calling off all the names of the fallen. And just how horrible that has to be. It's easy for people to sit back and put push pins on a map and say this is the battle line. There's fighting here. There's been movement here. The Ukrainians have retaken this land. The Russians have taken this village. But that all means dead people, dead, hurt, dead, gone, obliterated human beings that are continuing to die and be injured every single day. And a lot of that by artillery fire and small weapons or drones. And the drones have been a game changer in the war. There was an article the other day that the United States may actually buy drones from the Ukrainians. What an amazing thing. Apparently, because of Russia's advancements in drone technology through the Iranians, the Ukrainians themselves have had to amp their drone game up, and that apparently some of these advances are beyond what we have. And I don't think that we have really worked within the fiber optic drone warfare that's really taken a toll, because you can't jam those down. They're connected by wire, and they can go several miles by a small team of 2 or 3. And so you can slip teams in even behind enemy lines and go on seek and destroy missions with these drones. This war is the first war in the history of war on this earth where we have a new type of PTSD that we've never seen before, and that is the PTSD that is suffered by these soldiers on both sides because of the drones. And there was a BBC story here just 2 or 3 weeks ago about how much that has affecting the soldiers in the field. Number one, they don't cycle back and forth as much as they usually do because it's safer to stay entrenched. They're afraid to leave the safety of a bunker or something that they have because they don't know where these drones are at. They can hear them sometimes, not even see them. And so when they get back, things that kick on, something has a motor in it, the whir of that motor will absolutely send those men into fear, rage, whatever, because they're right back in the war, and it's having a real psychological effect on the frontline soldiers who are they actually run out in the open area. They get so tired of being cooped up and they feel trapped that their body just tells them to go, and they run out, and the drone sees them and kills them. But this electronic warfare has taken a level we've never seen before, and now you've got people that you can't jam them. If you see them, you can shoot them, but you can't always see the drone. I mean, they're small, they're different sizes, but a small one can kill several people. And so they just hover around up there for the longest periods of time, and they're just looking for any movement of any soldier, and then they're going in for the kill. Amazing! This is like something we saw in movies and stuff, way back when we were kids, and we're really there. And some of that technology may not be developed yet, but basically, it's like a computer game, and you still need men. Yes, you have to have men, but a lot of the warfare is being directed by people sitting at computer desks like I am today with monitors in front of them and controls. And they could be sitting somewhere in Texas, Oklahoma, and New Hampshire, sitting in a room with the ability to launch these things, fly them, and do operations out of that, looking for targets. It's truly amazing what we're seeing nowadays. So the United States actually buying basically drones from Ukraine. Of course, I think that's another backdoor deal. But anyway, whatever they want to call it, there are advancements in battles. I mean, war brings advancements. So as bad as we hate to think of it like that, your military hardware, you advance because you find limitations. You work on fixing those. And good morning to you. How you doing this morning? But glad to see you today from Twitch. And medical, it has always been that medical breakthroughs and advancements occur during war as they're trying to save lives in the field, in field hospitals, and the bad injuries that happen. And there's new things they're dealing with there too. Some of these armaments, they put certain things on the body which can be damaging to the people, even trying to work on that body to save them. There are dangers there of some of the stuff, the phosphorus and stuff that they're putting in these armaments. It can flash up on the healthcare workers. So it is bad all the way around. I mean, just bad. So what area are you coming from there, Baby Yoda? I like the name, by the way. I like that. Emily, what area of the world are you coming from? And we welcome you this morning on the Cornbread Man Morning Show. I'm David the AM, the Cornbread Man. And getting started early on a Saturday. I'm going to meet my friend. We're doing some Saturday video work as part of the Cornbread Nation, News Nation. And we're doing some promos for the show. Today is on tap. And we're doing a part of our Main Street USA series. We're highlighting small town and things within that. Today, I think we're going to look at a pretty famous wedding chapel that's in our area that a celebrity has been married at. And we're going to look at an old historic train depot. And we're going to do a couple things there. We're working with Ascending Financial Group, and we're going to be cutting a couple of promos for them as well, along with these, and for some of our co-hosts. I don't think we're getting all of them today, but hopefully we get at least one of them, and we'll do some promos with them. So a couple 2.5 hours of being out, drinking coffee, having a good time. And then later I do have to work. I actually work on Saturday, but it's okay. I enjoy it. And then Sunday we go to church, and then we broadcast early. We broadcast sometime in the middle of the day, and we broadcast into the evening with our SFP news desk on Sunday night, which is straight up news and views, as seen by me, which may not be worth a cup of coffee at McDonald's, but that's what you get. We hope you'll tune in. Speaking of Twitch, we've been doing, I've just been delayed this week. I'm trying to pass an insurance exam. I'm practicing for it. And Lord knows I need to be working on it now. But I'm trying to get past that. But we've been doing we do our lives every day of the week that go out on several streams. But we're fixing to go we've started doing lives on TikTok, Clapper, a new one, Wimkin, we're going to do lives on, and yes, Twitch. We're going to do a Twitch exclusive live show straight from the Twitch studio, so to speak. And so just those people that are in Twitch will be able to see that. And we're developing what that show we want it to be and what it to look like and have some fun with it. We'll do some things different than we've done before. It'll be something very, very different. We're going to be doing some different. Each one will have its own unique thing, so that like what I show on TikTok live, that won't be seen on any of our other streams, including Clapper or Wimkin, any of. And I will do that for each one. We're going to have whatever that work is, or whatever that that we're presenting will be unique to that channel, and we won't allow that to cross over to anything else. And then we'll make announcements on that. So I was hoping that would have already happened this week, but hopefully within the next week, 2 at the most, because I've got to take this test, and we're going to make that happen. I'm excited about that. Looking forward. Twitch is a great channel. It actually has so many options. I don't use lives, hardly any of them. We have a mod, but it is and Kick is another one. So you can take all those. We're going to do live from Kick, Twitch, Wimkin, TikTok, and Clapper, unique shows, and we're based in Rumble, and we do Rumble exclusives as well. So and maybe in the future Substack. We'll get some things later on to be behind the paywall if people want to support us in that way. But we've spent over a year developing the brand, developing what we want to be about, developing who we are, and we're still doing those things, but really enhancing that. You see the puppets behind me; they'll probably have their own unique show out there. They have one that we send out, but there'll probably be some differences with that. We'll probably get the puppets involved as well within this. So anyway, just a little bit about what's going on with us, and we appreciate all the other podcasters out there and what they do. It's a great time. This is a great medium. It's a great time to be alive. Always, it's great to be alive. The alternatives are not good, but it's good to be alive, and it's good to be somewhat healthy, and your mind just racing and growing and doing. And I'm busier now than I've ever been in my whole life, and I'm loving every minute of it. And so we appreciate your support. Me and Rob, Elizabeth, Jeneth, Dean. We do many different shows. We do everything from the serious to the silly, and we have a lot of fun doing all of it. So appreciate your support of the SFP, and don't forget our coffees. And we have various ways you can support us, but we are very proud of the coffee line that we have. I don't know if I can put that over the top of this. No, there we go. And use that QR code and the coffees that I'm drinking this morning. And I've got to make a new order, but we have more blends than what you see. The coffee cups are going to end up in our Threadless store and our Printful store eventually. I don't have them up yet, but we have many designs, at least 10, I think, of designs to go on coffee mugs to go along with your Southern Fried Podcast coffee. And these are awesome. I mean, just awesome coffee. It really is. I can say that because it is the truth. And there's been a few teas that we have some teas or new teas have been added. And I'm wanting to, I've tried about 8 different blends so far. I'm looking for move into try something that I've not tried yet. My co-host Robert has tried 2 or 3 blends so far, and he has loved every single one. You make the order, it comes to you pretty quickly. If you're in an outlier, it could take close to a week. But when I made the order, it went out the same day. I think I ordered on a Monday or Tuesday. It left the warehouse that day. I had mine within about 30 hours, and it's fresh, and it's great. The resealable bag and everything. It is a very good process. Your first order, you're going to get 5% off, and if you're in the continental United States, the shipping is included. So you take a 12 ounce. Some of those are 18, 15, 19 in there. That's shipping included, and you can get 5% off of that on your first order. It's very reasonable for mellow or coffee. Those prices are absolutely great. We have bulk prices that people could buy bulk if they wanted to. But one of these days, we hope to have them in shops around the country, in the world. So we will see. I'm sure everybody has that dream. We do as well. But we offer a little more than just selling coffee. When you buy the coffee, you are really getting us too, and that's fun. So we can do some things with our vendors and stuff that maybe some others do not, in that we can offer some partnerships in that. So it could go beyond the coffee as well. So we're looking forward to that. We're young, we're getting going, and having a fun time doing it, and trying to make something that is enjoyable for you to watch and you to be a part of. And always looking for new ideas. I'm about 3 weeks to a month delayed, but a history show and music show is going to start. I mean, it is absolutely on go. I've just been trying to get. It's really the test I'm studying for. It's taken some time, but I've got to get that done, and then it's full speed ahead. As we get in the holiday season, we're going to be having some holiday shows, and we are looking at 2026. 2025 has been a great year for us. It's not over yet, but it is getting quickly to the end, and we're going to have a fantastic 2026. I just know it, and a real explosion of everything, and that's fun. I said, 2 to 3 years to really get up off the ground and get going, to get self-sustaining. We're already self-sustaining. The podcast at least makes enough money to pay pretty much for itself. There are still some things we pay for, but it's minimal. But it pays for itself. And then in years 3 to 5, really, hopefully grow in a way that is pretty powerful. But to God be the glory. Whatever it is, it'll be, and what it won't be, and we'll be happy with it because we just enjoy what we're doing. But we are trying to do something a little different. Everybody's got a niche, and we're looking for that niche, and ours is found in the diversity that we have, I believe, and also some of the ways we look at things and have fun with it. So we're looking forward to build a news division up, and really cover news as well. And we're already doing a news show now. We're doing news bites, and we're soon to do some documentaries and stuff on our level and scale of what we can put together at the level we are. But definitely enjoy news, and I've always been a news hound, and hopefully can provide that for people and be a source that people trust, and at least know that we're going to bring some particulars of and give it as truthfully as we know it and share that out. But we're working all that stuff. It takes a little time. Hopefully, and I'll live a good, prosperous life, as Spock would say, and we will have time to get to all these things, and that's our hope. A lot of football today. If you're a football fan, some people are not, but if you're a football fan, my dogs back here, see the G, they'll be kicking off at 12 o'clock today against the Kentucky Wildcats, coming off that close loss to Alabama. Alabama plays Vanderbilt at home. That is an interesting matchup. The 5-0 Vandy. It's hard to believe. But probably won't win this game, but maybe they'll give Bama a good game. Hopefully Georgia will look better. Hope your team does well. We wish everybody well. We just love sports. Don't forget, on Tuesdays or Thursdays, sometimes Wednesdays, we do that either Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Usually, it's hard. We'll make an announcement of it. We do our racing hour and our sports show. I believe our next is Wednesday. Is this coming Wednesday? We have a kickoff of 5. I think we're going to try to go a little earlier. We're going to got to get on and go at 5, and we'll kick off with our SFP racing hour. We'll cover all the NASCAR deal, and then we'll go in and talk sports. We'll catch up on all the football and the baseball playoffs and whatever it is. So Dean Potts, my co-host, will be here in studio with others as we cover these topics and have fun doing it. So like to have fun with that. Hey, we're looking to have an Appalachian Trail show at least once a month right now. We've made partnerships and friends with people that have done the AT. I'm hoping to put that in place here in the next few weeks. We're hoping to get people report in all up and down the trail continually and keep that a continual pipeline and talk to people in this show, and eventually maybe once a week, but get it going. We've got some ideas. We're working on that right now, and I'm excited about it. I like those check-ins from the AT. That's cool. So if you're a person that does that or know someone that does, get our contact to them and let them see us, and maybe they'll contact us and we can give that info. If they're on the trail right now, I'd love to talk to them, and we can make that easily available, and we'll highlight their story. So I think those are fun things to do, and it could be other hikes that people do around the country too. There's some big ones out west, across the Midwest, but the AT is highly recognized. But there are other ones as well, and I would like to have that ability to speak with them on a regular basis and kind of get what the journey's like for them, what's going on, and meet all these great characters. Everybody gets a nickname, everybody's got a story, and it's very emotional. Sometimes there's people marching for people have fallen, continuing the journey for someone who passed away, their own spiritual, physical journeying or whatever it is they're looking to accomplish. They're trying to get out there and do some things, and just get away, kind of get off the grid for a little bit, and get back in nature. Get away from the 9 to 5 for a bit. Get away from social media, except to check in and put their posts or videos. It's just about spending time with self and really reflecting and endurance. And I think that's cool. And I just love the nicknames. I love them. I'm gonna have to develop me a trail nickname. Maybe I'll go walk a portion of it. Somebody give me a nickname. Oh, that would be cool. Oh, me. Dog tag, Robert Diamond. Dog tag. Uh, I'm hoping that I can get him talked into coming on the air with us some. And he's got all these great connections now. George Eshelman, who they made the movie The Keeper about, another great character. And I'm hoping going forward we can have some of these men at least check in with us from time to time. We don't want to lose track of them. They're awesome people, and they have awesome stories, and they're great patriots. They love the country. They've served their country, and they're just looking to live a life of reflection and peace, and with their animals and family, and they enjoy these challenges of talking about the things that they have endured on the Appalachian Trail. So that's cool stuff. Cool stuff. The battle of man against nature. Sometimes nature wins, right? Floods and wind and all that. But we're very small when it comes to power as human beings in the universe of God's great universes, however big His creation is. We're so small, but I'm glad He loves us and He is concerned for us and makes a way for us. So I love that. Uh, I love the I love the story of redemption. It never gets old. I love to hear people's testimony of how their path and their journey. Good morning. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing good. Happy to be here on a Saturday. Uh, early, drinking some coffee, and I do have a little water here as well. But enjoy myself. I'm feeling good this morning. Getting ready to get going and get out and enjoy this day. And that's life is good. So there's challenges. We're praying about some things just like anybody else, but you got to look at the glass half full instead of half empty, and be positive. And you make it better by being proactive and on the move. You don't let it run you over. Get up and keep going, and that's what you do in life, and that's what we're all about here at the Southern Fried. And I hope you're doing well this early on this Saturday, or wherever you're from. It may be in the afternoon. I don't know, but for me, it is 6:41 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here as I broadcast live from Studio A here in extreme northwest Georgia. I could get in a car and be within the state of Tennessee in about 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. I could be in the state of Alabama within less than an hour. They're about right at it. Probably would be it'd be less than an hour, but I could be in the state of Alabama, pretty close. I could be in the state of North Carolina in about about an hour as well. At least a small section of it. South Carolina would take me about 4. What else? Florida, that'd take me about 6 hours to get to Florida. 6.5, something like that. Because I'm extreme northwest Georgia. But I hope you're doing good. Thanks for asking. It's a blessing to have you here this morning. Another from Twitch. We thank you for, and when I get off of here, I'll be glad to give you a follow. And I don't know if you're gaming or what you do on Twitch, but appreciate you stopping in. It is great to meet people. I'm a people person. I love people. They don't always love me. And Georgia Bubba back here, there he is. He loves you too. And where's the other fella at? Let's see here. There he is, Uncle Jeb. There's Uncle Jeb. So these two are characters, you know. If I had the video up in here, I would show you I don't know if I can load that real quick or not. Let's have him load Uncle Jeb's video up. He talks a little fishing humor. Let's see, video clips. Let me see if I can load Uncle Jeb's video up that he did. They do something called the Jeb and Bubba Show, and that one's due anytime. And let me see, I think I can get that one. Let's see if I can get that loaded up. And we will show you Uncle Jeb telling his little fishing story. It's short, it's not real long. And Georgia Bubba, he likes to tell dad jokes. And so let me see. I think it is ready. Let's see if I can get it on the screen. Well, it didn't go on screen. That's the problem. How did that not? Hold on. I see. One button I didn't hit. So now let me see if I can put this on screen.
There's Uncle Jeb here. Hey, how y'all doing today? Well, you know what? Me and Georgia Bubba, you're going to be hearing from us real soon. We're recording a new show. We've been on the road, you know, and so here's one of the stories from the road that we'll tell you here. We won't put it in our other show. We'll just put this on the Cornbread Nation. You know, we watch even on the road. We just don't always have a good Wi-Fi to get in live, but we watch them recorded. But I was down fishing, you know. We were down at the beach, and I was doing a little fishing, and I had me a bucket of fish, and I come out of there, and the game warden, you know, wouldn't you know it, the game warden comes stopping me and asking me for my fishing license. I'm glad he didn't find that little nip I had. I said, I don't have a fishing license. I don't need one. He said, well, you most certainly do. You can't be fishing without a fishing license. I said, I wasn't fishing. These are my pet fish. He said, pet fish? I said, that's right. I said, I come down here every night, and I release them in the water, and they swim around for about 30 minutes, and they come back and jump in the pail. He said, that's a bunch of hooey. I don't believe it. I said, well, it's the truth. So he said, well, I'm going to have to see that, or I'm going to be writing you a citation. So we went on back down the water, and I said, well, I'll show you, because, I'll do that. Just how big a boy are you? Well, I went down there, and I released them out of the water, and we waited about, 30, 40 minutes, and the game warden said, where's them fish at? I said, what fish? Ah!
And there is the legendary Uncle Jeb. Uncle Jeb. He's a cantankerous guy. He's really he really does care, but he's kind of cantankerous, as us older guys can get sometimes, you know. So have fun. No game here. Just talk. But that's Uncle Jeb. Georgia Bubba does dad jokes, but they have their own show. And it's the adventures of Jeb and Bubba. They usually get kicked out of places. They've been kicked out of Buc-ee's, if you know what Buc-ee's are. They've been kicked out of the comedy barn in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and they've been kicked out of Raising Cane's. That's a restaurant, Raising Cane's. Uncle Jeb usually goes off the chain, and they get kicked out, and he embarrasses Bubba. But they have a lot of fun. Oh, and I think they got kicked out of Talladega Super Speedway. I think that's another one. But they, and if they haven't been kicked out, they've been asked not to come back. So usually Jeb will get loud, and he gets mad. He doesn't like how things are going, and so he says some things. He's never dirty or anything, but he gets loud. The old people get loud, you know. So he's kind of an older guy. He's a little mouthy. And he keeps that little nip, as he calls it, that little flask of booze. And He knows he shouldn't do that, but he'll keep it on him. He's just always glad nobody finds it. Uh, there's some other characters coming along with them. There's don't have names yet, but there's at least 3 characters that are going to be coming along into next year. One is a friend of Bubba. They're about the same age. There's a female who is an on again, off again girlfriend for Uncle Jeb. There's a policeman character that's coming, and probably one more. As well as we have for the Southern Fried, we have our own groundhog called Quit Chuck, and this year we're going to let him tell if he sees his shadow or not. So look for that as well. We have fun. We'll have fun with that starting the new year on that, and then we also celebrate our Southern Santa. We don't celebrate North Pole. He's South Pole Santa, and so we have fun with that as well. Hey, you know what? It's hard. Don't make it harder. Learn to have fun. Laugh a lot. Laughter doeth good like a medicine, and it's good to have laughter. It does so many good things for the body. And I always say, if the skits ain't funny, you can at least laugh at it. If the work that's happening is not, you're thinking that's dumb, well, laugh at it. At least it gave you a laugh. My gauge on the Puppets family is this: if my wife laughs, it's a win, because she loves to laugh herself, and if she gets a kick out of it, it brings a smile to her face. It doesn't matter to me, really. I say this from the bottom of my heart. If everybody that ever seen the Puppets said that's horrible, bad, I wouldn't care, because she liked it, and as long as she likes it, I'm happy. And but there's some other people that like them, so they enjoyed Jeb and Bubba. So that's something I wanted to do from the very beginning, and I'm trying to get that more where it's every week. Putting together a show is quite involved, to be honest. That's a lot of recording. But the smaller bits we can do pretty quickly and get those up and out, and let their footprint be there quite a bit. And then along the way, build the show with these little bits we're doing, because everybody might not have seen those bits. And then we'll have some that haven't been seen. And the Jubba Bubba show usually runs from 30 minutes to 40 minutes, somewhere in there, with a couple commercials. So probably about 20, 25 minutes of actual talk time for them, which is a lot, actually. That's actually a lot. If you put a stopwatch on your talking to someone and timed it, and I know people have to give a 5-minute talk. When you have to give a 5-minute talk, it seems like that 5 minutes takes forever to go by. I've had to do that before. In fact, with the Boy Scouts, one of the badges, merit badges you get is to public speak, and it's more than 5 minutes. It could be I think it was like 15 minutes or something. But anyway, when I did mine, they said I did a great job. But one guy said, "You didn't get your time. You'll have to do it again." I came in just a little short, but it's okay. It was, for a shy boy like me, it was a major success for me to stand in front of those folks and give some sort of talk. I was old. I don't remember how old I was. Probably 12, 13, somewhere in there. I don't think I was 14 yet. I could have been. I don't think so. And super shy, hard to stand in front of people, and that helped me. And then just got a little better, a little more comfortable. It still has its times. If you have something that bothers you, you never completely get over it. You just learn to deal with it in a way that it's manageable, and that's for all of us. We all have something, and we do the best we can as we navigate this thing called life. Again, Sunday morning, 8 a.m. or slightly after, depends on how the schedule's going. We have our Sunday morning in the Word. We hope you'll join us. It's coffee and Jesus time. We don't. Sometimes I straight on will preach a sermon, but usually it's a discussion. We'd love for you to come and take part in that discussion. We'll take a scripture or two, a topic, and we will just run that to ground and let people have some talk in that. And so it's Sunday morning in the Word. We're actually in the Word, but we're we're still, we're giving other people a chance to, have some talk about it. And then Sunday night is definitely 8 a.m. SFP News Desk, but we have a couple other shows on Sunday around that as well. So we'll see how that goes. But we love it. But join us the rest of the weekend, and then on Monday morning it kicks it all back off again. And we got so many shows we do during the week. We slow down just a little bit on weekends, but not much. Saturday's the lightest day. I do 2 shows usually on Saturday, and then maybe post a couple of news items like I will today. But other than that, it's pretty laid back family time. I work, just recovery. It wasn't intended to be that way, but it is that way for right now. You have to have some time for yourself. You do. I work a full-time job, and I'm not complaining. And then a part-time job and all the things you do. But we appreciate you joining us this morning. There's a few of you in here from different platforms, and we appreciate you being here. One of them I actually don't know how many it's from, and that's probably from X, because X doesn't always show. Now, sometimes we stream out of StreamYard as well, but today I'm coming through from Rumble, so I don't have all that data in front of me. So we do have locals, Rumble, Twitch, representative for sure. Rest of them may be X. No YouTube, no Facebook, I think, at this time. So, but that's okay. And then we'll take the show and we'll push it out to the other channels afterward. After, sometime today, we'll get that loaded up and push that show out. We do a daily news bite Monday through Friday that goes out on just about everything we have. We also have our own radio station. I've got to build it up. I've got programming up there, but I've got to update it this weekend and getting ready to do some lives there as well. But hey, it's great to be with you. I'm going to be headed out and doing this on the street, man on the street. I hope to get a couple of interviews today as well. And we're going to just have some fun with that, cut some promos, do a couple of historic buildings, locations in a small city where I'm at. Really getting out the street. I love this. I'm so excited about it, and I can't wait to be a part of it. And I'm going to be headed that way here very shortly. So we're going to get off here, be looking for a news item that popped up. It'll be loading out after this show. And we'll see you here in a bit, maybe in the morning. I don't know if I'll be on Bike Live today or not. Probably not, but who knows? Well, Southern Talk, if they get back in time from cutting the promos, we will do a show called Southern Talk that we do on Saturday morning. And that's my hope. So we'll be on for an hour, a little over an hour then, and we'll talk all things Southern. So have a great day. God bless. And we'll go ahead and get out of here just slightly early and let the music play. And we'll see you soon. Take care. God bless. I'm Dave in the AM, a.k.a. the Cornbread Man for the Southern Fried Podcast. And yes, the Cornbread Nation. Take care.
Mud on your boots, dirt on your hands, fight in your eyes, scars on your plans. Who you gonna be when the lights all fade? When the stage is gone, when the debts ain't paid. Just how big a boy are you when the chips fall, when the fish fly? Just how big a boy are you when the truth comes, when the lies die? Big talk ain't the weight you carry. Truck in a no-name town, dust on your tongue, rain won't come down. What's the measure of a man with nothing to show? When the wind cuts deep, when the seeds don't grow. Just how big a boy are you when the walls crack, when the earth shakes? How big a boy when your pride bends, when your heart breaks? Big talk don't mean a thing at all. much you can raise your chin, but the mirror don't care about the fire within. How far will you go? How much will you lose when it's blood for blood and you gotta choose? Just how big a boy are you when the tide turns, when the sky